Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for April 20th to the end of the month. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. Here's the thing. Before I tell you what to expect, I'm gonna tell you where you're at now. All right, Pisces. Remember your annual forecast for 2025 when I said everything's gonna change in 2025. We have all the, every planet changing signs, all the outer planets changing signs in a compressed period of time. And not only that, but they're all aspecting. So again, nobody in modern human history has experienced what we're about to experience in 2025. You see a lot of changes happening, a big shift, and you are entering this brand new era. Okay. And I did say April is going to be a bonkers, everything changes month, and we're here. Now, here's the thing, Pisces, for you specifically, this is going to be, these are pivotal weeks of April before we move into May, but especially for you, out of all the signs, for you, okay? I really want you to pay attention because you are going through this death and rebirth moment, this, phoenix rising from the ashes. Consider it like a graduation, okay? And sometimes it is like, again, the energies have been overwhelming. You've had a lot happening in your sign, but here's the big picture, okay? We got 5 major storylines that are happening in your life right now, okay? Your life story, your journey, your commitments, all of that, okay? This is the convergence point for those 5 storylines. And of course, I'm going to walk you through it. A lot of them started in January, okay? But you are definitely reaching this point of climax. And there are things that I did not tell you in your April 2025 monthly forecast because I just didn't have time. And these are just big stories that are playing out, especially, well, about the Venus, Saturn, Venus conjunction that's happening in your sign. All right. We're going to talk about that because we're here and this is big and your life is changing and you're evolving and you know it and you absolutely know it. You're going to feel a lot more in your zone. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. But just remember your consciousness is expanding right now. You're seeing things, experiencing things that you never have in your life. Okay. And remember, this is still riding that part of the wave that began in your birthday season with that 6-planet conjunction, that once in a lifetime. So remember, that is part of the collective shifting. That is part of the wake-up call that I said is going to happen now. That is part of the great awakening that I said is what the year 2025 is. The year of the snake, shedding skin. When I talk about like that true death and rebirth moment, right? Phoenix rising from the ashes. It's the year of 9. I've told you about the year of 9 now. And you are tapping into your Neptune and Aries energy that just happened, okay? I'll leave, you saw that video. I did a video on Neptune, Aries, what you can expect. Anyway, you're feeling it. You're feeling it. And you're also feeling the fact that we just moved into that fire and air energy, right? So it's like a rocket ship. All right. It's like one of the fast Arcade Fire songs. Anyway, no retrogrades, a lot of forward momentum. All right. Use this for the direction you want to go right now, please. Okay. And when I say that, what you want to contribute to the collective, to humanity, to your family, to your squad, to your neighborhood, all for the greater good, right? So again, continue on your karmic journey because there are going to be a couple tests, all right? As I did say in your monthly forecast, and if you want to know more about the overwhelming energies that I was talking about, because it's not just astrology, I talk about like the Schumann resonance, geophysics. I talk about everything that is happening. I'll leave it at the end of this video or the description box, the last 2 live streams. Like I tell you what crystals to use, like for healing, for intuit. I give you a lot more, but it's things that just can't fit here. Now here's the thing, and you are seeing a lot of patterns develop, but definitely caterpillar to butterfly. You're in the middle of that right now. Think of the Fool card, right? Card 0. Okay. And you've seen, if you are a cross watcher, you've seen the Fool card come out a lot. Right? Okay. So, and I say that because you see all these planets in your sign, Pisces, they're all leaving, all crossing that 0-degree Aries point. Remember, you're the last of the zodiac. Aries is right at the beginning. Everything's moving into Aries. Okay. And so they're all crossing that 0-degree point of critical degree, the world axis, the degree of creation, fresh new beginnings. All right. So Get comfortable, go grab some popcorn. We're gonna take some screenshots, wherever you need. We're gonna do this. All right. And of course, you can always come back to this too. I'm here for you, Pisces. Now, Sunday, April 20th. Yeah, we move into Taurus season. That's great. Wonderful. However, just know that, remember last week, I gave you the heads up. I said we have 4 major aspects, not minor, major aspects happening on Sunday, right? And I said, you're going to start feeling it as we enter the weekend, all right? And you're definitely going to feel it after Sunday. So you're going to start feeling it this week. All right. So look at your last week's reading where I do talk about like Venus sextile Uranus, Mercury sextile Pluto, Mars trine Neptune, all Sun square Mars, everything. Okay. And remember, 2 of those aspects, like we have never experienced in, our lifetime. And it's been 164 years. And they are actually very important on your journey moving forward. And I'll tell you why. But we officially enter Taurus season. Okay. Now, Taurus is very earthy, so it blends well with you, all right? And it's really great because I just said fire and air. Everything's fire and air, right? So Taurus season helps bring in that grounded energy. It helps you feel a lot more centered for the next 4 weeks because Taurus season is all about stability and resilience and resources, your physical world, material possessions, shopping too, okay? Taurus is it's wealth. It's a finance sign, all right? Even food, all right? It's all about your values, your desires. What makes your heart sing? Remember, Venus is the ruler for Taurus, okay? So a lot of those Venusian energies that I want you to feel, beauty and sensual pleasure, sensuality, that's a big thing because, when I say that, Taurus is the physical, like I said, including the body. If Aries is I am, Taurus is I feel. So I want you to feel moved, okay? So everything that's been happening since the end of March, where you've been going through some major change, and you've been feeling it, there's something big happening. You feel it deep down in your bones. Now I want you to apply all that, okay, into your physical world to feel empowered. Okay. I want you to use this. I want you to take inspired action for comfort. Taurus is all about comfort and security and wealth. Yeah. And when I say wealth, sure, financially, sure. And listen, there's a big focus on money for y'all anyway. So, but when I say wealth in family, wealth in spirituality, wealth in your relationships, wealth wherever you want it to build. Okay. This is your time. So please take that action to literally and spiritually and emotionally build the world you want to live in. When I say sensuality, use it. Okay. Please use it because we're talking about all 5 senses. Yeah. Use all of them. Okay. Mind, body, spirit, everything. Just, that's why I said food, right? That's a sensation, taste, right? So it's all about your senses here. All right. So, and it can be music, right? It can be art. It can be, Wonder Bread, whatever you want, food, right? So whatever just moves you, I want you to feel inspired. Now, Taurus does rule your 3rd house. What does that mean? You're going to be very centered, focused, inspired, and have emphasis on communication. All right. So this is everything in the realm of communication. So this is the conversations that you have, initiating important conversations. This is, signing contracts, agreements. 3rd house is also, writing. It's writing, researching, and it's learning new things. 3rd house is starting new businesses or, starting side hustles, side gigs. Think of, the 3rd house is Mercury ruled, right? So Mercury, the merchant, the mercantile, selling goods too. 3rd house is family. You got a lot of family stuff happening. So we're talking about siblings, distant relatives like cousins, and also neighbors. You got a lot of neighbor stuff happening here as well. And it's also, your local community. There could be some activity here with your local community. So again, there's going to be this you feeling grounded in all these areas of your life. And you're going to see a lot of activations here as well in Taurus. Okay. So one thing that I do want to point out just real quickly for you. Well, everyone like Taurus season, I said it's all about comfort. So you, one thing I want you to be mindful of is that some people can just get too comfortable with what they have and not do anything extra and wait for things to come, right? That's comfort too, but that lower expression. So just be mindful of that. Again, that's for everybody, but it's in different areas of their life. But just be mindful, because you're going to have some things happen here in the way that you do communicate. Okay. Monday, April 21st. Here we are. Are you ready, Pisces? You got your seatbelt on? All right. Your straps. April 21st, we got Venus and Saturn conjuncting the North Node in your sign. Now, look at what's happening April 24th. We have Saturn, and Venus conjuncting again. Okay. Big. So this is Saturn conjuncting the North Node, Venus conjuncting the North Node, and then Saturn and Venus conjunct. Okay, so I want you to see this as a package deal. From April 24th to the April 21st to the 24th, 25th, depending on where you live. It doesn't matter. These are conjunctions. They're strong. You're just going to feel it the entire 2 weeks. Especially this is when they perfect. So this is going to be the hot spot. But the North Node conjunctions with Saturn and Venus are happening at 26 degrees. So what are the chances that 26 degrees is linked to Taurus, right? Hey, wow. During Taurus season. We'll talk about that. I'm going to bring that up later too. I want you to remember 26 degrees. It's an 8, right? 2 + 6 = 8. We're going to talk about this, and this is going to be enormous for you. All right, Pisces. So, and remember, Venus and Saturn have been with the North Node for some time, and you felt that. Remember, the North Node moved into your sign. Okay, so I'm going to reference some dates I want you to look back to. That's why I want you to take notes here, because it's going to make a lot more sense. Or again, you can come back to this. So Venus, Saturn, North Node. They've been laughing. They've been conjuncting. They've been dancing. They've been negotiating. They've been doing the hopscotch, right, with their lemonades, whatever it is. But what does this mean for you? Okay, what does this mean for you? Okay, since January 18th, this is one of the major storylines I was talking about. What happened around January 18th to the 21st when Saturn and Venus first conjuncted? Okay, remember, the North Node moved into your sign. And so you've been mapping out your true purpose, your destiny, your mission statement. That's what the North Node is, the direction you're going, right? So the past few months, when Venus, Mercury, and Venus were all retrograde, Venus, Mercury, and Mars was even, so you spent the past few months reassessing your goals. They were retrograding your sign. You spent time reassessing, rethinking. You obviously felt some delays. You obviously, may have felt some confusion. You're coming out of it. Okay. And so I truly want you to know what you want moving forward. Feel it. Okay. In your heart, in your soul, because you have now come to the fated convergence point. And what does that mean? Well, let's talk about Venus first. Venus, you're going to be asking yourself this week, what does my heart desire? What does bring me pleasure? Remember, Venus is exalted right now in your sign. Venus is in your sign. So you've got all that energy and power of Venus, right? So there's really something beautiful here, okay? Really compelling when it comes to love and relationships and money and creativity and creative projects and beauty and passion and harmony. Again, what your heart desires, you're putting it all on the table. Okay, you're charting your karmic journey, all right? You've got the North Node in your side until mid-January. July 2026. So for a year and a half. I mean, this is you, all right? So I want you to feel moved. Remember, heart-based living right now. Heart-based living, feel it in your soul. And quite frankly, this is a North Node activation in your sign. You are going to feel this. Think of the North Node as like your spiritual GPS to your destiny, all right? Now, Saturn is a very different story. And I've seen your comments, Pisces. I've seen your comments. Some things have been not easy. Remember, I'm going to tell you something that you're going to love, but I've told you that Saturn can come in hard, and he is on your North Node now. And Saturn, who is structure and reality checks and the authority and bones and the long term life lessons. Remember, Saturn's life lessons. Therefore, he's karma. And so now you've got karma on the point of fate and destiny in your life. This is going to be a big moment for you, because if you haven't been putting in the work for what your heart desires, Venus, right? Saturn is coming in as Gandalf. He's going to say, don't, you shall not pass. Did I get that right? You shall not pass. All right. So Ask yourself at this point, and I know I dropped these videos a little bit before the time, so you got a lot of time here. Ask yourself, have I been passing Saturn's test? Have I learned all my karmic lessons since January? Do I know my goals? Do I know even the legacy I want to leave behind? That's how big this may be for a lot of y'all, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you don't know at this point, that's fine, okay? And I'm going to tell you why, but because of Saturn, but most importantly, it's fine because all Saturn's going to do is say, listen, go do some more rounds, go do some more laps, and think about it, okay? But feel it. I just said Saturn is bones. Venus is heart. Feel it in your bones. Feel it in your heart. Okay, Pisces? Now, he does amplify the North Node, and that's why I'm just making, because this is a big deal. He amplifies the North Node, which amplifies the house it's in, and it's in your house. You've got the North Node, Saturn and Venus, in your sign. This is all about you and your identity and your role, and you get this, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you have worked with Saturn, yeah, if you stayed true to your authentic self and you put in the work and you learned your life lessons through any challenges, you passed. Mission accomplished. There you go. All right. You get the, you get a little ring-a-ding here. But here's the thing. Because now, remember Saturn being karma, you reap your rewards now. Saturn rewards you. He's like, okay, great. There you go. You aced it. Let me build that bridge for you. Offer stability and support that I do, and structure for your commitments and your devotions for the long term. Saturn, being authority, by the way, it can be someone in your life that is an authority, that is that builder for you in your physical world. Remember, we're in Taurus season, all right? So I really want you to communicate because Taurus season is all about communicating for you, all right? And remember, Mercury's also, or third house is also ideas and thoughts and thinking, okay? So just know that everything that you have gone through, those really overwhelming energies, and, some may say challenging energies, the past few months, they were tests. They were tests for you to know what direction you want to go, okay? And for you to endure, because that's what Saturn did. He was coming in strong, saying, do you really want this? How much do you want it? I'm going to test you. This is your destiny, Pisces, right? And then remember, Venus and Mercury were retrograde, helping you reassess what your new direction is. We are moving into a brand new era, a whole new era. And Venus, hey, she's been in your side. She's pleasure and sweet and sugary and harmony. And Saturn, yeah, he can come in hard. He's limits. He's discipline. And so Venus being very hot, Saturn being very cold, there's got to be compromise. And the fact that Venus is exalted in your sign and now direct, remember, no longer retrograde, softening Saturn's edges. So that's really beautiful. All right. I want you to think about when Venus retrograde conjuncted Saturn about April 7th. Okay. It was around the time of the full moon Libra, full moon in Libra. All right. So there was something ending there. There was something big. It was in your 8th house. All right. That was when Venus actually went direct. Really big. Look at your last week's reading, or 2 weeks ago. But anyway, it was to make room for all this new in your life. And remember, Venus now direct has all her powers exalted in your sign. So what she's doing is she's going up to bat for you. She's going up to Saturn. She's like, dude, Saturn, old man Saturn, chill. Let them have this. I'm trying to give them pleasure and love and creativity and relationships and everything that I represent. I want them to have what their heart desires, and it's working. Okay, because Venus again is softening his edges. And Saturn's like, okay, fine. All right. So really great. And remember, Pisces, don't forget Uranus, exile Saturn. Yeah. You remember that from April 4th? How I said we haven't seen that in 30 years. It's a fresh new energy that you're going to be feeling the entire year because they're slow moving planets. Yeah. Uranus, the great awakener, all about breakthroughs, surprises, evolution, innovation, revolution, your freedom. The son of Saturn, that's Uranus. Mm-hmm. So Uranus is now going up to his dad. And he's like, Dad, come on, bro. Come on, Dad. I'm trying to bring them great change. I'm trying to shake things up for them. Can you just chill a bit? So now Saturn's also like, okay, fine. So Uranus is helping you greatly here. Now remember what I said, you got to use these aspects. You can't sit on it. You got to use them. So make that great change. Have that breakthrough. This is your big break. And Uranus, again, sextiling Saturn is a big deal because you're going to see a lot of stuff happening here with communication, and they're going to come to you. There's going to be a lot of communication coming to you too. But you're going to see that you're the one that's going to be initiating it with Uranus here for you to have your breakthroughs. Remember, Uranus is in Taurus, okay? And also remember, like a lot of family stuff here as well, and travel, and learning new things and starting new things. It's your curiosity peaked, basically. Now, what is amplifying this, especially on April 24th, and please pay attention to this. This is for you out of all the signs, Pisces. Why? Because April 24th, yes, Venus and Saturn will conjunct. But don't forget, it's Venus, Saturn, the North Node, and now the Moon in your sign. All in this four-way group hug. Okay? Remember, North Node in your sign, that's your spiritual awakening. That's your healing path. Now, here's the thing. You got the Moon back in your sign. Whoa. So you're going to get deja vu to the end last week of March, by the way, with this configuration. But you've got an exalted Venus conjuncting the Moon in your sign. First of all, that is so moving. It's so special. It's so romantic. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that, and I usually do this in the second spread, but I feel like everyone does it because we do more of the lunations there. Venus just happens to be at her degree of exaltation. And so April 24th, 25th, you're going to feel this, right? Why? Because Venus exalted in your sign, like I said, right? And that just think of like Venus being in being in a throne, like being carried by people, right? When she's at her degree of exaltation, that's her being crowned on top of that. This is love. This is beauty. This is everything your heart desires. This is harmony. This is, pleasure. This is romance. This is in your sign. You got the Moon in your sign with Venus, so please feel this. You're going to feel spiritually moved, and I want you to feel it, okay? Please, in your soul, heart-based living, you're going to feel your soul move. This is such a great alignment, and you're not going to see this again until 2026, okay? Like Valentine's Day, around that time. Just remember, okay, with Venus and the Moon, there can be like a female figure, by the way, involved here as well. Mother, things like that. But anyway, you just know that Venus and Saturn at this point, when they're on the North Node, they're helping you. They're helping you on your path, okay? Again, I talk more about this in your live stream, all right? Some of y'all have your North Node in Pisces. Some of y'all have your South Node in Pisces. It just, in different houses anyway. Like I talk about it in my last live stream. All right, now, so don't forget, even the Moon conjunct Saturn. Remember, the Moon is in your sign, right? So that's really dreamy, very spiritual as it is, all right? And so Saturn is just making your dreams become reality, but you got to use this because what Saturn is doing is saying, hey, Pisces, listen, I've been loosened up by my Sun and by Venus, right? So I want you to have new rules. I want you to have new habits. I want you to get rid of old systems and structures, okay? Build new ones now. All right. And then I'll help you out, and then you'll reap rewards. All right. Now, and once again, Moon typically mother, Saturn typically father. All right. He is father time, right? So, but the father archetype. So yeah, there can be, or mother figure, father figure, paternal figure, or grandmother, grandfather. Any of them could be in the picture around this time. Okay. Or authority figure, like a strong female boss you care about, and things like that. Anyway, remember what I said, Venus, Saturn, North Node conjuncting at 26 degrees. Okay, that is the Taurus degree. Now, 26 degrees is the degree of love and creativity. So, wow. I love this. Think of its creation. Think of the Empress card. What I love about the 26 degree point in astrology, by the way, it is the culmination point. So there is this enormous sigh of relief that comes with this after you've gone through choppy waters. So this is really amazing. Now, here's another thing that's very important to you, Pisces, okay? This is all happening. And then next month, just to give you a heads up, is the month that Saturn officially leaves your sign. You've had Saturn in your sign for several years, right? And remember, he's going to go back into your sign at the end of this year for a little bit. But whoa, He's now joining Neptune in Aries. All right. So bringing that stability in your second house of finances and money. Yeah. You got to work with this test as always, right? But it's going to be big. All right. Remember, all these planets leaving your sign at that 0 degree point of fresh new beginnings. Y'all are all going through major change. Just wait and see where you're at in June. Okay. And that's a big month. And oh gosh, May is a big month too. I mean, like, anyway, just remember you're going to be tapping into that pioneering, that, leadership energy. That's what this Aries archetype is entrepreneurial anyway. And, if you're not here for money, second house is self-worth and self-value, something that builds your confidence, something that you're doing in your world that makes you like feel so empowered on a whole other level. All right. But it does bring this whole new vibe and energy to your destiny. Now, we'll talk about that next week. Here's the thing. If you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon or your husband or your girlfriend or your pet turtle, whatever it is, everybody's going to feel this. But mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, yes, especially you, will feel it the most. And if you know your birth chart, if you have any planets between 23 to 29 degrees of any of those signs that I mentioned, any of them, okay? It doesn't matter which one you look at the angular aspects. You're going to feel it the most. Now, let's talk about Pluto coming in hard. Now, Pluto is going to be the second checkpoint, right? It's Saturn was the first. And Pluto's going to be like the Incredible Hulk because Pluto likes to break things down, all right? For breakthrough, because Pluto is transformation. All right. So keep that in mind. Remember, death and rebirth. I talked about that. That's what Pluto is. That's what he represents. And you can't have rebirth without that death part, right? So again, getting rid of old structures and systems. Now, Pluto is also very psychological, very forensic. He likes to, I tell you this, he's very like Mulder, Scully, likes to go deep and nerd out. Bruce Banner, that's why Incredible Hulk, the scientist, right? So anyway. You're going to see more of the green man on with these aspects. Wednesday, April 23rd. You got Sun square Pluto. Okay, so can we talk about this for a second? Let's do that. These are the Sun is in Taurus, Pluto's in Aquarius. Two fixed sides. So yeah, that can be a little bit of a challenging aspect. But remember what I said on Sunday, you had Sun square Mars. So from Sunday to now, that is the peak period. That is the hot spot of this challenging aspect because you're now throwing in Mars in Leo, another fixed sign, which is amazing, Mars in Leo. But remember what I said, it's also pride and ego. And so what is happening here? You got a three-way square off where none of them are budging. They're fixed signs. And so there's going to be a lot of power trips, a lot of power struggles that you may feel, okay? Egos at play. Remember, Mercury in Aries is happening. That's already aggressive energy. I told you that. And this is an aspect, or this three-way dance is definitely going to be, you're going to feel it. It's going to be a little bit more of, people are going to want too much power. Like, too much control. Everyone's going to feel this. Now, here's the thing. You've got it activated in your 3rd, 6th, and 12th house. So what does that really mean? Well, I just want you to be mindful about the way you communicate. Okay? Especially with colleagues and employees and bosses, especially with doctors, physical therapists, vets, personal trainers, anything within health, your private nutritionist. Because this is amplifying your everyday activities, your routines, your habits, your lifestyles. Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th house, that is the subconscious too. So there is, when I say Pluto in Aquarius is going deep for you, you may be going really, really, really deep on a super psychological, but also subconscious spiritual level as well. Now, this is great physically. I talked about last week, okay? It also builds confidence. I talked about last week. It's motivating. All right. Pluto is, innovative. It's in Aquarius, right? Forward thinking. It's genius energy. Use that, right? It's also revolutionary. It's also revelations. So the fact that you have this happening with you, your 3rd house and 12th house activated, it's just like things are going to come to the surface. Yeah. Use these aspects. Don't let them use you. All right. Pluto, like I said, very psychological, goes deep. You can have immense clarity and rooting things from your subconscious around this time. Okay. This is deep for you. This is deep. And it is, maybe something with family again or colleagues, people in the workspace, people in the, even at your gym. I would be mindful. There may be someone, your workout buddy, whatever it is. There may be something here where it's a little bit like someone's coming on like a little bit too strong. And so just know that you can use this it's more about freeing yourself, okay? Freeing yourself from a situation or a person or a circumstance where it's just like, oh, okay, that is just not for me. Too much, okay? That's not part of my journey. Remember, you got Pluto in your 12th house anyway. You are the native ruler. Use that. That's intuition, okay? That's psychic level intuition, all right? So that's a benefit for you. And so you're on your journey, okay? And don't let anyone get your fish because people are going to be in moods, all right? With an EW, all right? Now, the other thing is, you see what's building here, all right? Just remember, everything has ripple effects, and that's why I always say take inspired action. We all know by now, all right? And it bears repeating every video that I do for you. Karma literally translates to action, okay? In Sanskrit, that's why we say actions have consequences, right? So be mindful of the things that you say. Because again, your third house is going to be activated the way that you're communicating with people. All right. So remember, it's all about the heart-based living, love-based living. Okay. Living through the heart, not the ego. This is a lot of ego. All right. Pluto is empowerment. So use it. It's, intuition, instincts, use it. All right. Just be a little bit flexible. Now, remember what I talked about the mid-January. See what comes up. What happened for you around January 20th, okay, and even give it 2 weeks after the end of January, when we had the Sun conjunct Pluto, all right? We have the Pluto Cazimi that happens once a year. That's that's another storyline that's happening up for you. It's happening for a year, all right? And so what's happening here, it may be subtle. It's just a little plot point along the way, all right? And again, remember, this all happened in your 12th house. So it's hard to pin things down in the 12th house for you. The 12th house is so nebulous, you know that, right? It's just everything beyond the physical plane. So like I said, subconscious, healing, intuition, spirituality. But here's the thing with this aspect for you, especially for you Pisces, the 12th house, the lower expressions, because that can come out with aspects like this. The lower expressions would be self-sabotage. It would be isolation. It would be, being hard on yourself. It would be hidden enemies as well. All right. So there may be some people that you do truly realize because of these aspects, if you're trusting your intuition, are not supporting you, are not on your side. All right. And it's up to you on how you want to move forward with that relationship. Now, Friday, April 25th, this is the big one. All right. We got Mars opposite Pluto. It's an opposition. You're going to feel it the entire week. The week after, this is bringing heat to the kitchen. Okay. This is a gaggle of now a lot of egos. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is another storyline that's ending. Okay. This is a 3-act play that started the first week of November of last year. What happened around that time? Jog up your memory. Okay. In your life. The second one was January 2nd. Jog up your memory. What happened a week before, a week after, 2 weeks after even, because again, this is a big aspect. You feel it for a long time. We've been actually feeling it for a long time, since fall. But these are the now they perfect, right? So now they come out to play. All right. Now they wake up and they're like, right. So the other thing is that, remember, Mars went retrograde kind of right after that, January 2nd, right? So there could be some things that do come up again from around January. When it comes to home, when it comes to family, when it comes to things that bring you pleasure and joy, when it comes to children, keep it in mind. Lovers, keep it in mind. All right. Remember, this is the last act, the last opposition. We won't have this again for a long time. But these are the two most powerful planets that are about to West Side Story. Okay. With all these other aspects, all these other squares that are happening, it's strong. All right. So, I appreciate a lot of your comments and a lot of y'all asking me to, teach astrology. And I hopefully, one of the things I do is try to make a lot of these very educational so you can have takeaways. And one of the big takeaway here that I'm going to tell you is that Pluto is actually the higher octave of Mars. So what does that mean? Pluto takes and amplifies Mars's energy. And remember, you got Mars and Leo in your 6th house of everyday activities, of your daily activities and your routines and your lifestyle and work. And here's the thing, Mars and Pluto, Pluto was just what? It was discovered 100 years ago, like not like a little bit over. Here's the thing, they're both Scorpio's rulers, so you may feel a little bit of that too. All right, so that's something that's shaking up your belief system, inner wisdom, for you to see something that you need to see. Remember, Pluto excavates and reveals. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And there actually could be something here with travel, but because you do have your third house, and it would technically hit your ninth house. So, and I'm not saying that to all I'm saying is it's a lot of egos at play. So let's say like you are going on a trip and you are checking in, for your flight, and the ticket agent is just like, kind of like in a mood, and just like, ooh, you're 5 minutes late. You got 10 extra pounds in your suitcase, and I'm going to charge you $200, but really mean about it. And that's going to like get you like, well, that's Mars opposite Pluto. And so remember, everything has ripple effects. So if you're nice and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I love your hair. Oh, what happened? Like, I'm so excited. I'm going to Bali for the first time, and oh my God, you have a beautiful smile. You got a beautiful smile. I can't believe, and you work on this day, and I can't believe, right? And then she's like, you know what? This is the first person that's been nice to me all day, because Mars opposite Pluto affects the collective. Everyone feels it. Everyone's going to feel like, right? She's going to look at you and be like, I'm going to upgrade her or him. Do you see how this works? Okay, Pisces. So anyway, just know this is very, but again, for a lot of you, it's going to be like bosses, the clients, authorities. Just keep that in mind. Okay, colleagues, things like that. Stay frosty, be cool. You're going to be fine. Or family. There may be family members here. Okay, so you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Just channel your energy constructively. Okay. What did I just say? You've just gone through some really strong energies. Think about how far you've come, all right? And think about how far you're going to go, all right? Don't let anybody trip you up. Don't let anybody trip you up, all right? And use this physically, right? Again, Mars is physicality, but it's also action. It's willpower. It's passions. Take those actions for transformation, which Pluto is. I think that you might appreciate this. I've been telling the other signs. When you channel like I said, use these aspects, it's always so interesting when so Mars opposite Pluto, for instance, the people who are born with this, I said Pluto it's a lord of the underworld, right? So that's why I would say it goes deep. Think of the Mariana Trenches. It's dark down there. So there's that darkness. So you got to bring things up to the surface. But it's amazing to see how so many people born with Mars opposite Pluto manifest this or channel it in this, like that dark energy in this creative way, like Mary Shelley or, even Bret Easton Ellis in the books that he writes, and like Ian McKellen and like the, villains that he plays. So do you know what I mean? Like you can use this in this. Anyway, so here's the thing. Uranus will sextile the North Node at this time. What? So that's, again, North Node in your sign. Sex like Uranus and Taurus in your third house of communication. All right. So there could be some life-changing messages that you receive, that you get, or that you are announcing too. Okay. Or thoughts that you have, brilliant ideas out of nowhere. All right. So you're going to feel this up until about June. All right. But May, there is going to be one big, strong aspect that is going to be like whoosh for you. All right. It is kind of like this kismet moment. All right. Now, I'm not even done. That's why I'm harping on this. Okay. What's really amplifying this energy with Mars opposite Pluto and all the other squares is that Eris has now entered the picture. Now, we'll talk about more in the second spread, but Eris is Mars's sister. And so Mars being a god warrior, right? And Eris is the spiritual feminine warrior. Eris, Pisces. Everybody, your Greek mythology. Who threw the golden apple in the wedding to shake things up? And that's the, PG version. So Eris is very active this day. Okay. She's already been squaring Mars. She's not been seeing eye to eye with Mars for a while, but now we got a fixed grand cross. And so it's really now a little bit like, and so Eris is actually right on top of Chiron, the wounded healer. Use
use this. She's going to be squaring Pluto. So again, there's something here with your something impacting your self-worth, self-value, the things that you value, maybe even like something in your physical world, like material possessions, where like you're, having an argument with someone about like, no, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Like, anyway, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Aries. All right. I'm throwing them in. Gonna feel this the most, this day. But if you have any planets in any of the signs that I just mentioned, 1 to 5 degrees in your birth chart, you'll feel it. Now, Sunday the 27th, we have the new supermoon in Taurus. Okay, so this is happening exactly 3:30, exactly right at Eastern Standard Time. Convert that to wherever you are in the world, right? New York City time, my time. So now, this is a super moon. It's not a full moon. It's a new moon, right? So this is going to be the closest new moon to Earth. It just means like they're orbiting really close to Earth. Therefore, you're going to feel it a lot more than normal, right? The normal new moons, big energy. Now, there's so many things happening here, but I'm just going to tell you the things that I need you to know. Look at what's happening here. Remember, a lot of egos at play already. And then on this new moon, we have a T-square. And so the moon, sun, and Pluto, again, not seeing eye to eye. They got their collars flipped up. Yeah, this can be a loud new moon. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Just make sure that you are being very diplomatic, seeing eye to eye, and release that energy because it's a new moon. This is, plant those seeds, set intentions. What do you want for the next 6 months? It's happening in your third house. Contracts, agreements, launching new businesses, everything that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, communication. So use this to feel empowered. And when I say that, by the way, what have I been repeating just to make sure that you understand? Heart-based. I talk about this in a lot of my live streams. That is how you set intentions. That's how you manifest. Okay. Especially when there's one so challenging with this other strong energy that that's trying to bring you to low energy frequency. You focus on that heart-based living, you're gonna be fine. This is a Venus-ruled new moon. Okay, so heart-based. Okay, love-based. That's how you manifest. Okay, that's how you set intentions, and you're gonna be fine. Why? Because there's a lot of other stuff happening here. First of all, the moon is exalted in Taurus, so it already does its best in Taurus. So new moons, new beginnings, new you, new chapter, something really big happening here for you. Really big. Now, remember what I said, a lot of these aspects that are happening at 26 degrees, okay? This new moon, 8 degrees. So really strong 8 energy for these 2 weeks, yeah? 8 degrees is a critical degree for fixed signs. Therefore, it's going to be strong. Obviously includes Taurus, so it's going to be very strong. All right. And it's technically 7 degrees, like 46, but you round it up to 8. And then if not that, you take 7 and 4 and 6, and it's 8, right? So 8 is very auspicious. It's prosperity. It's success. It's wealth. Remember, Taurus is a finance sign. Yeah. 8 is harmony. It's cosmic harmony, spiritual material. We all know this. Think about the infinity symbol, right? The circle 8. So ancients, even Pythagoras, who basically created numerology, associated 8 with paradise. So I want you to think about this. What is your paradise? The vision that you have, the reality you want to create for yourself, because this is a big lunation. So plant those seeds. All right. Now, the other thing is that there is going to be something happening the next day that, we'll talk about the second spread, but it's at 26 degrees. And it's a big shakeup with the North Node in your sign. And we're talking about the second spread because I'm already running so late. Now, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or going way over. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, and I'm going to throw in Capricorn and Virgo. They're going to feel this most if you're watching for your rising or moon. Now, if you have any planets in any of the fixed signs or the earth signs that I mentioned, so take out Libra, right? 4 to 10 degrees in your chart, you're going to feel it. Now, Wednesday the 30th, you got Venus moving into Aries again. So, yes, because we've been experiencing Venus in Aries since February. Now you have Mercury and Venus together again until May 10th. This is mind. Mercury is mind, Venus is heart. Keep that in mind. Have that mind-heart coherence. Like I always talk about, so this is just fired up. This is fired up. This is big. Venus is going to be in Aries all of May, so we'll talk about more next week. But just remember, Venus went retrograde in March. Then we had that double retrograde, right? Up until just a few weeks ago. But anyway, so basically, what did you want in March that you could not get? You can get it now, okay? You can get it now in a big way because Venus in Aries, remember, is like, I'm going to get this no matter what. Get out of my way, right? That's Venus in Aries. It's very fiery. But you got Mercury and Venus in Aries in your second house of money and finances and salary during the season of finances and wealth building. And if you're not here for money, second house, remember, it's what you desire. It's just what you desire. It's what you desire. It what brings you pleasure. It's self-worth. It's self-value. It's all of that. So let's see what's going on for you, Pisces. Okay. From April 20th to the end of the month. Okay. Pisces. Wow. What is, so Pisces, y'all are amazing. What's going on? How are y'all doing? You're going through some big change. Let's I do a traditional cult cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you did that very well. Secondly, Pisces, I love y'all. What are y'all up to? You got some big stuff happening, but then you've got some major stuff happening next month too. All right, y'all moving yet? Y'all moved. A lot of y'all moved already. Some of y'all are still in the process. Okay, are doing maybe big renovations with home. And anyway, let's get. Oh gosh. What? What? You're good. I told you there's going to be some change. I told you you're going to go through, this is the most pivotal time for you, right? With the conjunction with the Venus Saturn on the north node in your sign. You see that happening here. I told you you're ending one chapter of your life, entering this new era. You see that happening here. Let's get started. You got the Seven of Cups. So I'm not surprised seeing the Seven of Cups come up for you. Because of the retrogrades and the the double, triple retrogrades, all, in your side, and then just all this slow movement. And now you have the Seven of Cups. So it's coming up in your recent past, but remember, I do drop these forecasts a little bit before the actual time. So you may be moving into it still in that moment where you just don't know what you want, where you are a little bit confused, where there is a little bit of what's going on? Remember what I said with a lot of that Pisces energy that it can bring a little bit, Neptune. Okay. So Neptune moving into Aries and Neptune being very active. Remember, it's from the weekend. You're still feeling it this week. It still can bring in those elements of illusion, delusion, escapism, confusion, things like that. And then you do have your 12th house activated anyway, and that can bring some of that as well. All right. But anyway, this is just saying, yeah, maybe I don't know what I want yet, but I'm going to spend that time really figuring out what my future path is. And in order to do that, I got to trust my intuition. Okay. I got to go with my gut. All right. That's me, the divine inside me. All right. Yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine because it does indicate there are a lot of different paths, a lot of different opportunities as well that may be coming through or you've been presented with. So it's also a really good thing, but you've got to know what you want. Okay. Moving forward with the Seven of Cups, what's going to make your heart sing? You do that. You know what you want, and remember, you pass Saturn's test, all of that. You're good. You got the you have the Ten of Cups, and the heart of your spread. This is your card. I hope you know that. Yeah, it's your card. It's insane because all these planets in your sign are at the last decan. This is the third decan of Pisces. When I say your card, anyway. It's just it always aligns. This is happy family, happy home, happy everything, happy life. This is being emotionally moved. This is being oh yes, this feels good. I love it. Love it. Right? A lot of enlightenment, a lot of spiritual enlightenment here too. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. You're amazing. Okay. And there is almost this state of happiness where it's just it just exists that you don't even there's that innocence here with even the children, you don't, it's just there, right? You just feel it in your bones, in your heart. I really love this. And I want you to know that there's new beginnings happening for you. Now you have the Four of Swords here. Okay. two things. Well, actually, three messages are coming through. The first one is like the strongest one is like, yes, take that time out. You're about to enter a major. You're still in the you're transforming, okay, and there's still a lot more to come. Okay, you're still a lot of y'all are. There's a lot happening, and so really take that time out for yourself on what you want moving forward. Like I said, right, really stilling the mind with that Four of Swords here. Okay. Second thing is that some of y'all are already coming out of it. You've had that moment of like meditation, really going within, aligning your chakras, connecting with the ether, your chi, all of that. Okay, so that's really great because it's going to give you that clarity. All right, moving forward too as well. All right, because there are some big life changes that are going to be happening for y'all. All right. Now, the third thing is that there may be someone who is a little someone in your life, someone in your world, and it could be with these, squares and the opposition. You're just they may be a little. You may need to like, they need a little bit like spiritual healing. Okay, and remember, everything that you're doing is to help contribute to others. And so if you feel like someone needs that, all right, don't abandon them, help them. Okay, bring them into that place where it's like you've raised their frequency. So just keep that in mind. Now you have the Eight of Pentacles in your crown. Great, this is building toward your legacy. Everything that I talked about earlier, your goals. You're going to be hardworking. You see that here, discipline. That's diligence. That's all this is. But it's whistle while you work energy. All right. It's like I'm in my place. I'm patient. There's some practice required here to get to that point, but at least I'm not turning back. At least I'm moving forward, and I'm happy doing this. Okay, because I am making everything happen for me. This is really amazing. There really could be something with partnerships here because when you look at your entire, look down your cross. Okay, so you've got this Virgo card, right? Sun in Virgo. Remember, South Node is in Virgo, in your seventh house of partnerships, commitments, one-on-one relationships, right? There's something here, right? With a couple as well, and then you have a Libra card that rules that, yeah, and then you have the Knight of Cups, all about partnerships and relationships. So just keep that in mind. Okay, there may be something here, or legal matters, or a contract, or there may be something that you are just, let's move toward this. We're leaving the old, moving into the new. Knight of Cups, amazing. This is very being moved romantically. This is that Venus energy that I was talking about, just that heart and soul energy. So I love this. Creativity, things that make you human, the divine, compassion, all of this, imagination, really beautiful. Move with it, all right? Feel inspired. That's the main thing. Secondly, yeah, he is the knight in shining armor. You see him extending the cup. He does want to share his journey with someone. So you could be really feeling moved in that capacity with other people, or wanting to bring that, a higher vibration to existing relationships. Whatever it is, it's beautiful. Okay, and it can be anything. It can be career. It can be family. It can be love. It's whatever resonates with you. He's Pisces too, by the way, right? So I love this. Like, you are going to be in your right. So you even see the fish on his armor, right? So anyway, at the end of the day, it's all about just what's going to bring you joy, what's going to fill your cup, all right? Cups are emotions, they're feelings, they're love, they're all of that, all right? So really amazing. And then again, with the fact you got those pentacles in your crown, right? Remember, Taurus, that physicality. So even like that wealth, finances, wealth building, it is pentacles, like I said. So that maybe on your mind, like moving forward, having those conversations, all of that, really harnessing that energy, something in your physical world that you just want to next level. Now, hello. You got the Tower. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Like, I was like trying to do like 5 things at once. The Tower, in your future. Here's the thing. Are you cross watcher? You seen the Tower come up? Okay. Now, what I say with Mars, this card is a tribute to Mars. We got Sun square Mars. We got Mars opposite Pluto. We got a lot of Mars stuff, right? In your 6th house of everyday activities. Now, you do see the lightning striking the crown off the Tower. Uranus, I said, is going to be very active, okay? And, we talked about that. And Uranus is the Great Awakener. It can be, we say it's like a lightning bolt sometimes. Striking the crown off the Tower, the crown ego, right? So there's going to be something here, and it could be something like you just did not see coming, very unexpected. Remember, Uranus is actually sextiling the North Node in your sign, South Node in Virgo. So remember, that's something that's fated in your favor. And so I don't even see this. It's almost like there's something that needed to happen that you need to see, but maybe it was in a way where it was just like, because of these strong aspects, like, right? So it's all about how you move with this energy, okay? And every Pisces is different. You have different birth charts. You have different rising signs that makes you different from every other Pisces in the world. Some of y'all may not even, if remember, like I said, if you're vibrating at a high frequency, you're not even going to notice these squares. You're not even going to notice the opposition. It's not going to, you know, like water off a fish's back. Yeah? Same thing here. Let's get to your stuff. Pisces, y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. And it does, remember I said, you've got some brand new journey. And then also that's the other thing is like when the tarot shows up, it does often indicate like, hey, you kind of, are you sure you're on the right path? Like there's the tower, you know, the light is going to strike the tower for you to see. Okay. It is very Phoenix rising from the ashes too. And all of this is happening in your sign, like north, like all those. Anyway. All right. You know, love y'all. All right. So, yeah, you're going to be fine. Oh my gosh. You are going to be really fine. I'll even clarify that tower too. But listen, you got all royal here. You got all these court cards. You're fine. You got Queen of Cups. Yeah. There you go. Have it. Okay. You know, the knights work for the queen. The queen is like, it's pretty much like when you see what's happening here, it's just like, that's how I want you to feel. That's the direction you want to move, where you have this emotional stability, where you are living heart-based, where you have so much love to give and you have self-love, so much self-love that makes all that happen, right? This emotional intelligence. She is also like very like intuitive, like really like, yeah. So, so much, you know, empathy and love and compassion. I love this. It's the direction you're going. You got the King of Wands in your external factors area. Like I said, there's going to be someone pivotal opening doors, maybe a father figure, maybe an authority figure. Like I said, someone in work, maybe a boss, or could be something with family, but either way, there could be some sort of message coming through. Now you have, the King of Wands, who is a big leader and the entrepreneur. So again, a lot of work stuff happening for you. He is Leo. Remember, I said you got Mars and Leo in your 6th house of work, and everyday activities. So there's something coming through and it's just, he's epitome of passion. Ones are not only work and career and profession, but like your passions, right? And so again, I want you to move in that direction where even you're sitting at that throne, where you're just be like, that's where I want to be. That's the goal. That's the end game. Like just leader energy, leader, right? Authority, like even like me feeling that. Okay. King of Pentacles, another king. Wow. Okay. So yeah, you do want that wealth building, all of that's happening in your physical world. All right. But this is also someone who's like a big protector, a big provider. Yeah, he is the richest king. Sure. But again, it really is just, that's what Taurus season is for you. He is Taurus, by the way. You even see the bulls in his throne. Okay. So remember wealth, physical realm, earth, reason why he's outside the castle. Yeah. His big old castle. So yeah, move in that direction. You're going to get whatever you want. Okay. Remember, plant those seeds during the new moon in Taurus. Yeah. To move in that direction. You're on your path, and there's some big change here. And remember, you got to believe in yourself. That's a big thing. Have that self-love. Now, Knight of Swords. Yeah. Boom. What I say, your 3rd house activated for the next 4 weeks in a really big way. Communication, thinking, logic, processing, ideas, agreements, conversations, all of that. That's Knight of Swords. He is bold and courageous, and nothing is going to stop him. He's moving into the storm. That's how fearless he is. And, you know, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. You're going to be very stimulated. There's something here stimulating for you in a really big way as you move into this next chapter in your life. And again, I see the tower as like this, it may, you know, it's like one of those things where you may feel a little bit of that impact or like a little bit of a sting, but it was like meant to happen. It was meant to happen. But yeah, what time? Let me see. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll clarify the tower real quick for you. Yeah, see, I told you literally, like, can you please trust me? You got the Ace of Wands after the tower. So You're good. You're good. Ace of Wands, like literally, like with the King of Wands. Yeah. So there is something new coming through. You're on the new path. There's a new journey. There's something that's happening here. Work, career, your passions. It doesn't even matter. It's the wands. There's so a lot of creative energy, but like just think about like what are you ambitious about? What do you want? Like the universe is about to give it to you. That's a hand of spirit offering it to you. All right. So plant those seeds, but remember, there's something here. Don't let anything put you in that low frequency energy, because and if you ever feel that aside, just remember, like, oh, Jimmy said not to do that, because if I'm vibrating at this high frequency, all this stuff's going to come through in this wonderful way. And then I when the tarot falls, sure, there's still a little bit of smoke, but if I'm at that high frequency energy, I'm above that smoke. I can see that. And I'm like, it's coming through. The universe can see me too. It's like, yeah. So you're good. You're absolutely good. You're actually bonkers good. You're really good. Okay. Gosh, 2 nights. And remember, nights are action. Take that action. You have to take that action. Yeah. You're good. You're great. Pisces, next week we'll do May. Again, a lot of big stuff happening. And the second spread, yes, we're going to talk about, it's a lot of things here. Okay. We're gonna do a second spread on that new moon in Taurus alone, but I'm going to talk about, there's some things that I didn't tell you. All right. So, there is a lucky day. There is, something happening with a North Node in your sign that is pretty major. And we'll talk about Eris. Anyway, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Y'all are amazing, Pisces. And anyone can become members. And y'all, okay, I'm gonna let you go. If you like this, did I say that? You like this rating? It'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Pisces, talk to me. And the other thing is, yeah, this is a big month for you. Or the next 2 weeks, okay? Again, it is pretty pivotal for where you want to be in May. So take that action and feel inspired. And you know I love y'all. All right. Thanks so much, Pisces. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.